Hello, how is everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well and that the weather is as lovely for you guys as it is here in sunny England. Well, we'll see how it is. So my plan for today's Write With Me is to continue working on scene 4 or chapter 4. So we had a preliminary draft of scene 4, and at the last point of last week's session, we took that and ran it through Drunk Claude, and I got annihilated again. Although not quite as badly as I have in the past. I got a 7 out of 10, so I'm going to claim that as a win. So my plan is to use the feedback. I had a bit more of a chat with Drunk Claude, like asking his motivations, why he was saying some of these things. I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of insightful. So I've got kind of like a little bucket list, a laundry list for things I need to fix for scene 1. And then I'm going to get into scene 2, which is like the first kind of like argument. But it's like an argument between Kira and Delilah. So it's kind of like ramping up the tension a bit more in a different way. So yeah, I guess we'll jump in. To avoid I should yeah, I've got everything on both on the screen, so you should be able to see both the Notion document and the stuff I'm writing. Corey has kindly provided a link, and yeah, I mean, if any of you have any questions as things go along, ask. Feel free. I'm happy to clarify anything. But yeah, I mean, um, if any of you are out there, like, what are you working on at the moment? So while I wait, I'm going to that is totally weird. The Discord event is yeah, so my thought is, instead of having I had a chat with Claude, which you can have a look there, but instead of Delilah seeing Kira and hiding, she actually bumps into Kira, and then there's this like awkward moment where neither of them want to tell the other what they're doing there, and so there's kind of like all this juicy tension, and then from that, when Delilah notices Kira going out the back exit, she's like, "Huh, that's weird." Like, she literally just walked through the pub. And so then she chooses to go and like spy rather than just seeing her and following. So I'm going to incorporate that. Maybe do a bit of brainstorming first. And then I am going to edit the chat a little bit more, ham up the characters. And then when Kira comes out, rather than like wielding a knife and being like overtly threatening, it's going to be something slightly less threatening, but still like Delilah's like, oh god, gotta run. I also want to determine what they're trying to make and what they need to nab from the Genesis Hydro Gardens. So yeah, yeah, I think that's where I'm kind of up to. Oh, James says that he's currently playing with Final Draft before line edits. I like imagining, planning, and writing, and hates to slash despise the revising and editing. This is hard. Yeah, I feel you. Like, the planning is like the fun bit, and then suddenly it's like, once you've written it, you're like, oh god, I've got to like make this make sense to other people. Like, yee. Um, but it's good. It's good. No, it's good luck with that. I mean, I'm finding that with this Write With Me, I'm doing a lot more editing as I go than I normally would, but because I'm like, I feel very strongly about the strength of the plot, because of how much preparation I did. I'm like, I'm confident enough with this to edit as I go, at least like the first pass, and then I'll make other decisions later on. But yeah, no, I feel like I've got, what we got, 29 chapters, so like, yeah, it feels, I feel confident enough, like, whereas when I'm writing kind of just for myself, I often will kind of like pseudo like semi pants it, and I'll then end up rewriting the entire thing as I realize that stuff is horribly not logical. So, I might be learning something through doing these streams. Okay, let's dive into things. Oh, my mouse is lagging a little bit. If you see any lag, that's just because my mouse is running out of battery. Okay, let's get rid of that. Oh, if you see this, where this isn't working, don't worry, we know about it. We've got a bug fix coming soon. It's like slightly inconvenient for the aesthetics, but at least when you stop typing, it goes. Start typing. Okay, so okay, actually, before I do this, I'm gonna need to change chapter 3. The end of it. Okay, there. Just because the prompt, if I go on my prompts, I think it does read. Okay, it doesn't read. 1 minute, let me add in a. If I take this from the general purpose. Let's see if I can add this in. Oh, I guess if I just have the sample chapter, never mind. If I have the sample chapter in my... Yeah, that's fine. I don't need that. Brilliant. Okay. Chapter 4. Delilah straightens up. Or Delilah... taking a to make sure the journal is still hidden in her clothes. What are you doing here? Could ask the same of you. the two a stilted conversation. Neither sister wants to tell the other their reasons for being there. Eventually, Creel calls Kira over. Kira tells Delilah to go home. Strides off. Is about to do so when she notices that Kira and Creel leave through the back entrance. They not staying in the tavern. Her suspicions are raised and she is super curious. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Kate's voice, 450. Okay, well that's frustrating. It's not remembered. That's fun. I'll just edit that myself. Um, Someone has to. Delilah stood up. Or Delilah scrambled to her feet. Her hand instantly brushing over her shirt to ensure the journal was still safely tucked away. What are you doing here? The slightest hint of irritation crossed Kira's face, like... there's no expression. Delilah said instead. What are you doing here? The slightest hint of irritation crossed Kira's face, the same expression she pulled when the milk arrived sour. None of your bloody business. Could ask the same of you, Delilah said instead, jutting her chin out. Thought you said 66th Street was seedy. Kira's jaw clicked. Have you ever had it when your jaw clicks? Ooh. It is. The silence stretched between them thick. As they... Delilah shifted. Um, how is she gonna know he's too far away? Okay, I'm then going to highlight this and go on edit, show don't tell. And wait. I'm not sure. Okay. So I'm using this show don't tell prompt to give me like 3 options so then I can kind of kit bash from there. I usually kind of take the best from the first one, then I'll look at the second and compare and add, and then keep going. Rogue says, same, I love brainstorming, planning, and drafting, editing, and revising. Nope. It's like pulling teeth to get my brain to work on it. Yeah, I guess that's why we have editors. God bless them. Like, yeah, I don't mind this kind of editing where I'm kind of like improving sentence structure and stuff, but then as soon as you get to like where you're doing spelling and grammar and all that kind of stuff, it sucks. So yeah, that's fun. um, I mean, I'm gonna get rid of the pinball mention because errors. Um, I might just get rid of the tag. I think it being italicized will. Huh. um, I like that sentence. Okay, that's delete and delete. herself to keep moving. What in the bloody hell are they up to? She... to let another secret Delilah leaves through the front entrance, waiting until no one is there and no one is looking at her. Then ducks down a side alley, heading to the... She quickly climbs scales the wall using a bin for help and peers over the edge. Creel and Kira are heading towards some outbuildings. Creel is reprimanding Kira about her recklessness. Delilah snorts to herself. She has never known be reckless, always the mother figure. Okay, let's see how this goes. 300? 300. I seem to drop frames when the text is generating, but that's fine. Automatically delete the first sentence because it's rubbish. Leaving the pub through the front entrance, Delilah paused, Scanning the dimly lit streets until she was certain no one was watching them. Quick as a rat, she darted down a narrow alley that ran alongside the pub. The stench of rotting rubbish and stale piss assaulted her nostrils as she crept towards the back of the building. A rusty bin stood against a wall, its contents spilling onto the grimy cobblestones. Perfect. Delilah scrambled on top of it, wincing at the creak of metal beneath her feet. Quickly hauling herself up the wall. Delilah easily found purchase in the crumbling mortar. She'd scaled worse in the maintenance tunnels. As she reached the top, she flattened herself against the rough brickwork, peering cautiously over the edge. In the gloom below, two figures were moving towards a cluster of ramshackle outbuildings. Even in the dim light, Delilah could make out Kira's familiar silhouette, with Creel's bulky form beside her. Can't keep pulling stunts like this, Creel's gruff voice drifted up. You're going to get yourself killed, or worse, compromise the whole operation. Kira's response was too low to hear, but her posture was tense, defensive. Delilah snorted to herself. Kira? Reckless? That was rich. Her sister had always been the cautious one, nagging Delilah about everything. Don't... Yeah, that's fine, yeah. Get rid of that. Don't need any conclusions. Okay, sweeping the grounds. His gaze flicked up, and she thought he'd spotted her, but then he turned away, ushering Kira through the door. Bum 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 bum. Okay, I've done that. Delilah's fingers burned from the strain of holding herself up. She of finding out more. Edit, expand with options. Oh, I love this. Just everything is nicely in sections. It's so easy to see. I need to check now if this prompt uses the words after or not. Expand with options. Okay, it does. Yeah, that's why it quoted the words after. That's good to know. Okay, so that is always in the original. Okay, interesting. It's not included the instruction. I do like. I like this that Delilah's maybe like kind of worried for her sister, so as much as it's as much like kind of idle curiosity as like wanting to protect her, even if it's one presumably Creel stood above them. Oh, so I'm doing I don't know if you've seen it on YouTube, but I'm doing another stream tomorrow morning, which is going to be very exciting. I'm looking forward to showing you what it's about. Can't say yet, but if you're awake, so I guess in European time zones between 9 BST and a bit later, then hopefully you'll see something that is a lot of fun. Super secret stream. Yep, totally secret. Absolutely no one knows what's in it. Not even me, technically. Uh, oh, good, good. I want you all to feel teased. It's like a teaser. It's meant to make you want to go and join things. Get rid of those. But it's something that's kind of interactive and you can all join in at the same time. So it's, a little bit more actionable than a normal write with me, which is my favorite word. Yeah, I think this is a bit early for Corey. We're just trying some different stream times for different people, but yeah. Normally I would have done this in the afternoon, so that our favorite Corey could join in, but we'll have to next time. Next time. Winced at the confirmation being some involved. There. We all share the air in here. We're not cutting it out for all. The piped up excitedly, frowned, trying to place the voice. We have to um, um, around something large and metallic gleaming. Okay, like I'm just gonna grab my glasses. I'll be back in a moment. I sometimes try to avoid putting these on because they, okay, it's not too bad at the screen, but they reflect the screen, which is okay. I like that a lot better. Let's dissolve this so I can just use it without it being sectioned. Vaulting herself over the wall, facing down the alley, her feet pounding against the gravel pavement. The night air stung in her face as she ran, dodging between shadows and ducking under low-hanging pipes. Blood pounding, drowned. Stupid, stupid, stupid. What had she been thinking? Shouldn't have emerged, should have trusted her gut and stayed better. Legs felt like jelly. A stitch burned at her side. She leaned against the wall, trying to calm her racing thoughts. What was Kira mixed up with? Sabotage? Rebellion? It didn't make sense. Her sister had always been protective, always looked out for her. But the woman she'd seen tonight. Let's hint at that. Okay. I think I'm happy with this. So I'm going to go back to Drunk Claude and see how he replies. How big is this scene? Okay, 1,500 words. It's fine. Oh, thank you, Mum.
I'm just having a bit of a break.
Yes, no, that's good. No, it's fine. Don't worry, no one can see.
All right, I just thought I'd bring you a drink up. Oh,
you're a star.
Just having a drink myself.
Yes. My God, yeah.
I have massacred your front a bit. I hope not too much.
I am sure it will be fine.
It looks a lot different.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Oh, could you put the oven on?
I've done it.
Oh, you've done it. Oh, amazing.
Now as I'm coming from.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit down 50 minutes and I'm going to go back on your lawn and get all those.
Sit down for 3 hours if you want.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, that wasn't Sam this time bringing a drink. Normally they're used to Sam coming up midstream and bringing me something, so.
I thought, well, I can't have a drink on my own.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, is it Team Sam or Team Mum? Corey, you got to make a choice. chat with scene, new chat, select AI, analysis. I'm kind of curious now, actually. If I preview the final. Oh. Cool. I'll wait for it to finish generating, then I'll pin it. Lol, just that entire bit in caps. Ah, no, don't do that. Okay, alright, listen up, you aspiring wordsmith. I've had a few pants and I'm feeling brutally honest, so buckle up, because here comes the truth. No sugar. So I'm just looking at the. Okay, 8 out of 10, it has improved. Okay, it's like in the genre. Starts off slow as molasses, mate. All this faffing about with the my. Yeah, okay, that's fine. It likes the pacing, even though it criticizes it being slow. It seems to only like fast pacing. Like it seems like Drunk Claude is very much like a fast pacing kind of guy. Oh, our characters. Now that's where you're shining, you cheeky bastard. Delilah feels right as rain, just curious, a bit reckless, and clearly in overhead. I can practically hear her heart pounding as she's eavesdropping on the meeting. And Kira? Bloody hell, what a transformation. You've taken the seemingly mundane, nagging sister and turned her into some kind of rebel badass. It's like finding out your librarian moonlights as a cage fighter. Or a necromancer. Hey, Corey? Um, the scene definitely serves a purpose. Now let's talk about what didn't work. What alternative would you suggest then for... Oh, hey, Paul, what question do you have? Feel free to ask and I'll answer it. Okay, invested in the dilemma, that's good. Okay, I've not... Has anyone read Red Rising? Can anyone give me an opinion on the book? Yeah, oh yeah, the prompts responses are always so entertaining. Uh, here's a pint. Okay, so how does one prevent the AI from using certain terms like in future site? So I sometimes find it does suggest things that aren't applicable to my story, especially like so for my issue is often it's because it's sci-fi, it will suggest things that are like hollow films and stuff which just aren't, they don't exist. So what I tend to do is in the genre, I kind of will specify a few things. So like in my uh, oh, it's because it's let me just go off. Story genre. I have post-apocalyptic dystopian sci-fi set on Earth to try and stop any mention of like anything that's like extra planar. I might even add limited technology based on pre-apocalyptic world. So like yeah, you could do things like that to try and kind of prime it. Like so you would be like, you know, or you could have like a general story world codex that you pull from, like that says about newspapers or stuff like that that you don't using, or like things that aren't used, and what their replacement is. So you could say, so if something is, all media is consumed through a chip in the head that causes like your ocular vision to change to be like VR-esque, you could specify that, and then if you have that, maybe as a global entry in the first beat of a scene, you'd help like prime it and give it that information. That kind of thing could work. Um, if not, just have something that if it's something that comes up commonly, but you know of a solution, just manually change the one sentence. Like, that's often easier than just going through all the issues of trying to like troubleshoot it. Like, AI's, unless you tell it everything exactly, it's not going to get it completely right. Hello, SSN. You've just come in at a great time. It's Drunk Claude. Okay. Okay, I like this. Can you rewrite the relevant passages to reflect this new it isn't yeah, I would probably put it in genre to start with, because that's a global context entry. If you didn't want it to be a global entry, you could always put it as law or objects if you were doing like a specific like newspaper article. um a normal one-story wall, not a huge wall. 405B. What's 405B? Is that a subset of another model, or is that the new llama? Not llama model. I think we tested that a bit on Saturday, but if someone could clarify which model that is, I recognize the name. Oh yeah, llama. Okay. Um, I mean, uh, let me just try here. I've got. Let me llama 3.1. 405B. I don't know if I. Oh, 405B. There you go. General purpose copy. Okay, right. General settings, general purpose copy. There you go. I will test it for you, Paul. That's okay. Like it does what it says. Like it didn't expand in the way that Claude did, for example. It kind of very much stuck. To be fair, if you wanted a model that sticks very closely to what you want it to write, and you give it very detailed beats, I think that llama would work. However, it doesn't seem to be as creative. So yeah, I think depending on your writing style, is whether you would want to use it or not. How much does llama cost? Let me have a look. Open router documentation. 2.7. What's that like related to anything? Okay, so half the price of 4.0. Cheaper than Sonnet as well. Yeah, I think it's not horrible. Like if you wanted to use that, you could totally use it for stuff. Yeah. You know, I think if you're very detailed in your beats and kind of like handhold it, you would get the pros out. All depends on kind of what you're going for. Um let's have a look. Um come on, Oren, we've been planning this for months. Oh yeah, it does okay, so there's punctuation after it. Yeah, I would agree with Corey on that. Like that was a general purpose prompt rather than a trying to follow my style. But yeah, I think from what we saw last week, it can follow writing style, but not like super close. My God, drunk Claude, you've misgendered Drew. For some reason, writing in first person Claude 3. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think there are often like from what I've seen like models that are better at some things than others. I've never tried writing in first person with any of these models, so um yeah, interesting that Claude. How was Claude 3? Like, was that any better? Or has it like always been that Sonnet is like a bit iffy? Um, Paul says that he found that that sort of thing between Opus and Sonnet. Sonnet seems to need more hand holding. Opus seems to track the story better, forward better with just one or two sentences for a scene beat. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that's probably the reason because like the Opus is way more expensive. Like it's trying to well, like it's a more model. oh my god, what if the rebellion was actually behind the famine 30 years ago and no one realized? Ooh, okay. That's an interesting thought. I'll rest on that. Uh, lol. Here is complaints. And then I get Claude to help with that wall, and then um, um, cool. Um, Paul says that I had regenerated chapters that were made with Opus with Sonnet 3.5, much different output. 3.5 seems to write better, more completely. It flesh out the conversations better. Yeah, Opus 3.5 will be great when it comes. Yeah, I quite like often like using one model to improve on the text of another. Like I'll get it to rewrite it. I guess kind of like how I did this. To be fair, it kept within. I was surprised of like I've heard a lot of people say that Claude, um, Drunk Claude does like swear a lot, but it kind of stayed within the style, so that's good. I've done that. Okay, I'll give you this scene now. So I think what I might do, depending on how much time we have, look at last week's session because I forgot to copy paste it. Lol. Yeah. Okay. So now we're doing chapter 4. Okay, so this was all stuff I was doing from like a class. So we have a codex edition for Okay, Delilah offers up what she was. Oh, Corey, you tease me. I can't open up Slack, and you tease me with just the eyes emoji and something, and I'm like, what is it that you're saying? Um, Delilah offers. Um, to be fair, this Codex edition needs to now be in the chapter before. Yeah, Paul, try that. See how it goes. Because I think like Opus is great for the continuity, and then or even you could get Opus to write out like a really detailed plan of action, and then get Sonnet to write prose from that. Like get Opus to write some really like detailed beats that, or like instructions for writing the chapter. And Delilah is still waiting. Arrive home whilst she knows logically that Kira is safe. She still catastrophizes as she paces up and down the space of their home. When the door finally opens and Kira steps out, steps in, searches, immediately looks over, searching for injuries. Kira seems surprised that Delilah stayed up as she has work the next day. Kira is gruff and... Okay, let's see how this goes. It's not going to be like too long. 30, 300? I'll do 450 and then I can cut out. Oh my god, that's OTT. Sorry if you can hear all that wind. Suddenly we've got a big blast of it. That's actually really nice. Okay, yes. Going to change the music somewhat. Bum, bum. Okay. I like these panics. I think these fit in character. All the AI is good at writing parallel views in the same beat. Joe is doing X, then view changes to Jane saw Joe, and then she had to do Y. I have no idea. I would say for that you could like write. You would need to change the point of view of the scene to do that. Like you would need to have like um either swap it in the scene point of view or have two different scenes to do that. Um because the or you could have it in omniscient third person and then specify which point of view to focus on. Um I guess. Oh, I like that. I love that. But Logic had long since buggered off, leaving Delilah's imagination to run wild with increasingly horrific scenarios. Um, I'm not taking more risks. I'm not seeing my wife. Um, you didn't need to wait up. It's very on the nose sometimes.
shame. Deep down, while you were asleep, leaving them feeling betrayed, breaking the bonds that you made. There is no price we won't pay. We both know what it takes to survive. Um, um, you can't help and you shouldn't try, just stay out of it, D. I'm not gonna begin to. Okay. It's very short and quick, but I think that's all you need. Your own crew, to the brother, you know you'd have done the same. You must carry all the blame. Ugh. Analysis. I am not.
I love just them being like, okay, Claude, you've put this at me and slated me through. How can I improve it? Oh, interesting that it's changed the order to go chronologically. Okay. I don't have to explain myself to you. Claude always wants the swearing. Yeah, I like that line.
Pride is a damsel in distress.
Oh, hi! My first time catching a live stream. Very exciting. Hello, Kat. How are you doing? What are you up to? What projects are you working on? Yeah, this is a very casual like the live with me the write with me streams are just kind of like I'm working on a project that's the one I'm going through with my tutorials. Um, you're all working on your things. We're just kind of plugging along, getting our work slated by Drunk Claude. You know, all those good things.
Take the weight of the damned and suffer a gruesome fate. I'm sublime before your act of crime.
Okay. I'm then going to take this little bit of advice and go onto a new chat with this scene as context. New chat. Oh, your crew. Oh, rude. Pin. Please rewrite the beginning of this scene to reflect the following advice. Do I want her to be looking at... Oh, okay, so the left of my screen, this is Notion. I've got both Novelcrafter and Notion like downloaded as like apps so that I don't have to see all the toolbar and stuff from Chrome. But yeah, this is just the Notion document I share with people, but I've got my like to-do lists all kind of up on here so that we can just like easily access them and so that you all can see my kind of to-do list and what I'm working on. I'm trying to work out actually if any of you are around. I'd love to know what you think. Do I do Delilah fixing a gadget and trying to like, or does she start? I think no. I think I'm gonna do the She's going notes in there, but getting nowhere. Okay. Keep the same style as the original. Let's see how that does. And now I go on to my music and change. What do I want? I want Epic Saga. I want the Cyclops Saga. Where's the new Cyclops Saga? Okay. Okay, this is a... And how... keep wandering. So, James, what I'm doing is I have a prompt that is made. It's basically on set if I go on prompts. This is my prompt. It's very small actually. But it uses a sample chapter snippet of a handwritten chapter that I wrote, or like part of a handwritten chapter that I wrote myself, and then I include like the most recent chapter and kind of edit as I go. And so by using stuff that's based on your own writing, it then kind of tries to mimic that style a bit more. Let me I'll just like plop this in. See if you want to put that in. Oh, is the chat using... Oh my god, I didn't realize that the chat was using general purpose GPT 4.0. Let's switch that. Let's just get it to repeat the same order. But it's a good thing I've got Corey to help keep me on track. Okay, this is much better. Yeah, it's a really good way. So if I go into my snippets, I have my sample chapter here that is, I think this is chapter 3, and like it's just there, but it just, because I've already edited the chapter, it means that all like the GPT-isms and AI-isms kind of don't happen as frequently, and so it means then it's less work to edit, and so it kind of compounds on itself because each chapter is easier to edit. It means you spend the time editing it, make it good, and plop it into the next bit.
We don't have much time.
This is good. Right. Copy. I mean, I could just copy from there.
The flames of those gone.
Okay. Okay, this is okay. I'm liking this. Um yeah, so this bit, the rewriting bit is still just using the general purpose chat. However, it's because I'm asking it to mimic the style of the writing that's already there. It's kind of doing it from that. Yeah, that's better. Okay, I like that.
Don't go. And away we go.
Okay, I think I'm happy with this. I'm not gonna. I mean, I could get Claude to go through it again, but I'm happy with this. Finish it.
What good?
Okay. I'm happy with this. I think I might finish the session here. I feel this is a good point. I might have a little next chapter will be different vibes, so that works. I feel like I'm really happy with how chapter 4 has turned out now. It's it's solid and it kind of sets up the stuff the things that are going to happen in chapters 5 and 6, where this actual issue is going to happen. So I think that's a good point. So I am online streaming. Oh, thank you, Corey. Yeah, I was going to say, so I'm online in 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 hours time from now. Um, and then you'll get to see the super secret, and we'll do another write with me, a group thing. James says, so would you generally use? So I use Kate voice for every beat. Um, like it does cost a few cents per message, but I find that that makes everything so much easier. You could use the general purpose prompt, and see how, or have a separate sample chapter that's shorter. Um, you could try either. I tend to just deal with the cost and put it all in, but either way could work quite easily. And Network Casey says, I just want to say I recently found Novelcrafter from nerdy novelists and not stopped learning since. Makes it so easy for someone like me who can't just sit down and write. Yeah, I think it lowers the activation barrier to writing so much, and that makes a big difference, and it's really nice. But yeah, no, it's great. But yes, 9 BST tomorrow. Come and join for a great time. And I Okay, let us know how it goes, James, with your play about with the new with the prompting. No. Okay, so 16 hours from now, which is 1640 UK time. So like it's 9 BST, which is ridiculously early for America. It's like 4 p.m. America, East Coast America, or later in the morning for Europeans. But if I think Emery, you're another Brit, so it'll be in the morning for you.